guys, it's Alicia.
Annyeonghaseyo. That's Korean for hello.
Oh,
in
okay.
case you needed that knowledge in your life.
I didn't need that, but anyway. Okay, so we are at McAfee Knob. I don't know if you can see that in the background. Appalachian Trail. Don't know if you can see that either. This is I think it's a little over 8-mile hike. And this is one of the most photographed, if not the most photographed locations on the Appalachian Trail. So this has kind of been on my bucket list for a little bit, and we are gonna try to knock that out today. Now, we haven't been on this long of a hike in a little bit, so.
By a little bit, she means March.
Yeah, it's been a little bit.
So
I usually do like maybe 4 miles.
we're all like fat from the holidays.
We're carrying a little extra baggage in the pound area. So this will be interesting to see how this works. But we're gonna go ahead and get started, and
hopefully we won't get murdered or eaten or
yeah.
die. Just
Well,
in general.
that's always the hope.
Yeah.
No bears or no psychos, because there can be both. Anyway, we are gonna get started, and we will show you along the way.
And annyeong.
What she said. So the trail picks up right across the road, and as you can see here, it says to McAfee Knob, 3.9 miles. Now, when I was looking up information on this hike, I saw a lot of variance in the mileage on the overall round trip of it. Everything from 7.4 miles to 9.5 miles. So there is quite the variation of how long this specific hike is if you look online, but I'm gonna go with the signage there at 3.9 one way for a total of 7.8 round trip. At about a half mile, you're gonna come to a fork in the road, and you can either go left and take that fire road, or you can go right and stay on the Appalachian Trail, which is what we did. Now, if you're looking for a much easier hike, you're gonna wanna take that fire road. It's not only a lot easier terrain, but I do believe it's a little bit shorter too. So from this point on the Appalachian Trail to where it meets back up with the fire road is about 2.5 miles. McAfee Knob is located on Catawba Mountain near Roanoke, Virginia, and also Salem. It is an elevation of almost 3,200 feet, and this hike is a climb of around 1,700 feet, and it is considered to be moderately difficult, which I would agree for the most part. Really, the hardest part for me on this trail was the steps. It had some sections where there were quite a few steps that seemed to go on forever, but that was the most difficulty that I had on this trail. The Trailhead Parking Lot is off of the 311, and parking is very limited. This trail is very popular, especially during the weekends and peak season, which is the fall foliage season. We just missed that by about 2 weeks this time. The best time to go is definitely on a weekday or early morning, if not both, to avoid the crowds. Here we are coming up on the first of 2 shelters that you will come across on this trail. And as you can see there is a 2-night camping limit. And here is the second shelter that you come upon. And we decided to go check it out, and they basically all look the same. And that seems to be the case on the Appalachian Trail in general. All the ones that I've come across on the Appalachian Trail pretty much look the same. And now we've come to the point where the fire trail and the Appalachian Trail meet back up. And as you can see by this sign here, it is 1.3 miles to McAfee Knob from this point. One of the things that have kind of factored into the popularity of this trail is that McAfee Knob was featured in the 2015 movie with Robert Redford, A Walk in the Woods. So after that movie came out, there was definitely a spike in the popularity of this trail. McAfee Knob is one of 3 hikes that make up the Appalachian Trail Triple Crown here in Virginia. The other 2 are Dragon's Tooth and Tinker Cliffs trails. All 3 are conveniently located within a few miles of each other outside of Roanoke. Now, you can do all 3 of these in a 35-mile loop, which sounds like fun, but that's a little bit out of my ability, so I won't be doing the 35-mile loop. But I do definitely intend on doing both Dragon's Tooth and Tinker Cliffs in the future, and mark those off of my bucket list too. At this point, we have finally made it to the top, and I was really happy when we got up here to see that there was nobody up here. In fact, we had probably about a half an hour to be up here just by ourselves, which was very, very nice because, again, as I've said, this is a very, very popular trail, and usually there's always people up here. So we felt very fortunate that we were up here by ourselves, and we actually got to enjoy having a lunch and everything else before anybody came up. And I will say I was very, very impressed with this view. Now, when I was looking at pictures and videos on this hike and this view, I wasn't expecting to be as blown away as I was by what I saw when I finally got up here. The 270-degree views of the mountains and the valley down below were just absolutely breathtaking. And my footage definitely does not do this view justice because it was just beautiful. And I was really, really happy that we did, in fact, do this hike. And I totally understand now why this is one of the most photographed spots on the AT because, like I said, it's just breathtaking. After taking a few pictures, we decided to continue past McAfee Knob and just kind of walk along the edge here. This kept going for quite a while, and then we found ourselves a nice little rock to sit on and have some lunch. We didn't end up seeing anybody else until we had finished our lunch and had started heading back down, so that was just perfect timing. All in all, both my daughter and I really enjoyed this hike. And although we were a little concerned about the fact that it was 8 miles, or almost 8 miles, since we hadn't done that long of a hike in a while, it ended up not being that bad. And it definitely was worth the ascent up here for the absolutely breathtaking views that we got to see when we got up here. But again, because of the popularity of this hike, I would definitely recommend a weekday or early morning or both to avoid the crowds, because I think that really added to the experience for us, was being able to be up there all by ourselves for that half hour or so. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you on the next one.